Top 10 Facts About Earth. One. Our home, Earth, is the third planet from the Sun and the only world known to support an atmosphere with free oxygen, oceans of liquid water on the surface, and life. Earth is one of the 4 terrestrial planets, according to NASA. Like Mercury, Venus, and Mars, it is rocky at the surface. We've all been taught that the Earth is not flat, but it may shock you to learn that it's not perfectly spherical either. As the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, points out, Earth spins while gravity pushes toward the center and a centrifugal force, perpendicular to Earth's axis, pushes out. This results in a bit of a tilted shape, not a perfect sphere. 2. The Earth isn't just spinning. You may feel like you're standing still, but you're constantly moving fast. Depending on where you are on the globe, you could be spinning with the planet at just over 1,000 miles per hour. It's also moving around the Sun at 67,000 miles, 107,826 kilometers per hour. People on the equator move the fastest, while someone standing on the North or South Pole would be perfectly still. Gravity pushes extra masses of water and Earth into a bulge, or sphere tire, around our planet. At the equator, the globe's circumference is 24,901 miles and 40,075 kilometers. 3. Researchers calculate the age of the Earth by dating both the oldest rocks on the planet and meteorites that have been discovered on Earth. Meteorites and Earth formed simultaneously when the solar system was developing. Their findings? Earth is about 4.54 billion years old. That's a lot of birthdays. The National Center for Science Education has been able to determine this approximate age through dating rocks and meteorites that have been found here. Four. The ground you're walking on is recycled. Earth's rock cycle transforms igneous rocks to sedimentary rocks to metamorphic rocks, and back again. The cycle isn't a perfect circle, but the basics work like this: magma from deep in the earth emerges and hardens into rock. Tectonic processes uplift that rock to the surface, where erosion shaves bits off. These tiny fragments get deposited and buried, and the pressure from above compacts them into sedimentary rocks such as sandstone. If sedimentary rocks get buried even more profoundly, they cook into metamorphic rocks under lots of pressure and heat, according to Dorling and Dersley. Along the way, of course, sedimentary rocks can be re-eroded or metamorphic rocks re-uplifted. But if metamorphic stones get caught in a subduction zone where one piece of crust is pushing under another, they may find themselves transformed back into magma. 5. We know you've heard of Pangaea, not Rodinia. But hear us out a second. 800 million years ago, the tectonic plates of Earth came all together, uniting each of the continents, and it was called Rodinia. It eventually broke apart and recollided, which resulted in the formation of the Appalachian Mountains in North America and the Ural Mountains in Russia and Kazakhstan. 6. After Rodinia came to Pangaea, the separate continents came together again, this time called Pangaea. In this version of Earth's continents, there was one universal ocean. After 50 million years of Pangaea, it broke apart again, this time into 2 masses known as Gondwanaland and Laurasia. It broke apart a final time into the 7 continents and oceans we recognize and learn about today. 7. Asia is the largest continent. Asia spans 1,7139, 445 square miles and is home to some of the most densely populated countries in the world. China, India, Pakistan, and Indonesia, to name a few. 60% of Earth's population lives in Asia. With more than 40 countries through the continent of Asia, some of which are the most populated countries of all, it's not hard to wrap your head around the fact that 60% of the world lives there. The driest place on Earth sits adjacent to the most significant body of water. The Atacama Desert in Chile is known as the driest place in the world, but despite it being dry to the bone, the desert is actually right next to the most significant body of water on Earth, the Pacific Ocean. Though it's hot in the Atacama Desert, its temps average at about 63 degrees Fahrenheit. The Atacama Desert is one of the most extreme climates there is on Earth, so of course, it makes sense that NASA uses it as a tool, studying it to find further insight as to how life may be able to exist on other planets with such extreme climates. Antarctica is Earth's fifth largest continent. It may not be the largest or even the smallest continent, but Antarctica stores most of the world's freshwater, but more on that later. The Antarctic ice cap contains 70% of Earth's freshwater. About 90% of Earth's freshwater is locked in ice. About 90% of it isn't even water at all. It's locked inside frozen polar ice sheets. Earth's lowest point not covered by the ocean is 8,382 feet below sea level. But it's impossible to get to. That's because it's located under layers and layers of ice in the Bentley subglacial trench in Antarctica. The lowest point on land is the Dead Sea. Found between Jordan, Israel, and West Bank, the lake known as the Dead Sea is located 1,400 feet below sea level. There are billions of people living on Earth. As of 2020, that number is as significant as 7.753 billion.